Alright guys, welcome to another beer review. Got another beer that was kindly sent to me by the folks over at Brew Republic. And today we have got a bottle of the Detox, which is a session IPA, clocking in at 3.4% with an IBU count of 32. Quickly read you what hops and malts are used. So they use Comet, Galaxy and Chinook hops with Pilsner, Munich and Caramel malt. So yeah, if you want to find out more about any of these beers that I've talked about, they do have English language options on the website. And it doesn't just tell you about the beer, but also gives you a little bit of a background, like brewer's notes, that sort of thing. And yeah, Session IPA, they sent me 2 bottles of this one. I did actually record and was happy with the first bottle that I reviewed, but I must have accidentally deleted the video as I was putting it onto the computer. So, you know, worst case scenario, I have to drink it again. Oh no. And yeah, Session IPAs. As much as I love IPAs, I have found that some Session IPAs can be just really weak with such a like a light body where it's just not that satisfying to drink. And yeah, what are you up to, huh? He wants some food, so he's going to be a bit of a pain in the arse as usual, but I'm happy to have him be a pain in the arse, to be honest. So yeah, there's the bottle. Nice vibrant green label, nice label on the neck as well, with a hop, sort of like a medical sort of vibe going there, and then that artwork is on the crown. Really enjoy the artwork throughout Brew Republic's beers and that sort of thing, and I really want to pick up a t-shirt or glassware at some point. So nice amount of cannon smoke. Not too sure if it picked up too much on camera, but oh well. Let's get the beer poured into a glass, and poured that ridiculously. Yeah, I think I even had this same issue when I first tried to review this one. But I tell you what, you pick up those hops all the way from here when it's in the glass. And even through that, you know, mountainous head, you definitely pick up those hops. I get like a sherbet lemon sort of vibe. A slightly lager malt character as well as a backbone. A little bit tropical, a little bit piney, a little bit resinous. Got that ever so slight marijuana smell in the background. But yeah, sherbety, juicy, and a lot hoppier than what you'd expect for a session IPA. And can't really see too much in terms of colour there because of my ridiculous pour. But it's a nice orangey sort of colour. Pale orange, more yellowy, that sort of thing. A nice in-between of those two colours. Nice amounts of carbonation there. And I poured this with about 2 fingers worth of foamy white head. But it's actually, you know, got a lot of quite compact bubbles in there. So it is dissipating rather well, actually. Smells good. Smells really good. Anyway, let's tuck in, see if I can get a taste from this. Cheers. Yeah, it's got a very light body to it, but not too watery, not too weak. I've had session IPAs, in fact I've had full IPAs that have had a weaker body than this one. You do pick up those hops on the palate, obviously not as much or as intense as a regular IPA, but they're definitely there. You get actually really, I don't know, it says it's got a bitterness units count of 32, but to me it may be a little bit more than that. But then again, I've just got a lot of that head in there, and that tends to, when I'm tasting it, bitter the beer somewhat. I don't know if I'll be able to pour this properly without giving it like a proper big head, but oh well. I could definitely taste the beer. This bombardment of head is no problem in terms of the aroma and picking up a flavour. In fact, when you get that head mixed in with that beer, it's actually really quite nice and zingy. It tingles on the tongue. But yeah, hops, they're definitely there. It's not a weak tasting beer by any stretch of the imagination. And yeah, it's a session IPA, so obviously they're marketing this as, you know, you might not want to drink, you know, like a 5-6% or maybe even a double IPA, but you want to get that hoppy kick in the flavour. And it definitely delivers in that regard. And yeah, I know session IPAs aren't for everyone, but this is actually a really nice example of the style. Quite lemony, hint of grapefruit bitterness there as well. But yeah, really quite surprised at how hoppy this one is. And if you just want a casual beer while you're having your barbecue, or maybe you've got work the next day and you just want a couple of beers and you don't want to feel that buzz or feel it the day after, then you could do a hell of a lot worse than this German session IPA. Like I said, some session IPAs I've had here in Germany, they lack the hop character. The body is really, really weak. And this has a little bit more oomph to it and a little bit more character. Is it my favourite of the Crew Republic beers? No, I've had, you know, really nice beers throughout from Crew Republic, but this isn't my favourite. In fact, this is probably the one I like the least out of the ones that I've been given and ones I've tasted. But that being said, this is a great example of, you know, you don't have to sacrifice hop character, flavour, that like zestiness when you get a session IPA. Body a little bit more bolder than some of the other session IPAs I've had. Doesn't have that soapy sort of flavour or feel to it like some do. And yeah, really fantastic for this weather. You know, it's approaching 30 degrees. You know, coming towards the end of August right now, so you know, hopefully it's going to get a bit cooler soon, because I'm not going to go into that. I talk about that every time I do a beer review when it's sunny. So yeah, Crew Republic's Detox Session IPA. Don't worry, I'm wearing shorts. I'm not completely starkers down there. Yeah, really nice little beer actually, and definitely an easy 7 out of 10 from me. Maybe pushing, you know, 7.5 to an 8, something like that. But yeah, both bottles of this I've had have been a little bit more lively than I'd wanted it to be, but that's not really affected the beer at all in terms of, you know, actual flavour, that sort of thing. But yeah, Session IPA, it just goes to show you what you can do with this style, and you don't have to really sacrifice on anything, to be honest. It's just the Session IPAs, they're not really my thing. I like really big, bold, fruity, you know, bitter, and then to the English sort of really malty, bready sort of IPAs. But yeah, definitely the best German session IPA that I've ever tried, and a damn good beer. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10 I'm going to give it. So if you've tried this one, let me know your thoughts and opinions. If you want to find out more about the beer, like I said, you can get English language information by clicking those links down below. Not too sure how easy these beers are to import to the UK, but I'm sure there's a way to do it. If the website's offering English language options for people to look into them, then I'm sure there's got to be a way of getting hold of some of these beers back in the UK. But yeah, another good one. They've not sent a bad one. I've not tasted a bad one yet. But compared to the others, it's not been my favourite. But if you want something a little bit different and you want a session IPA that's going to prove you wrong because you might not think it's got anything to it, then this is definitely one to try. How many times have I said the same thing over and over again? Who cares? Thank you guys for watching. Check out Crew Republic. Check out my Crew Republic playlist. And I hope you'll join me for another beer review. I'm going to definitely enjoy the rest of this beer in this obscene heat. See you guys later.